Good evening. I am Anatoly Anatolisa, and this is Patriots Must Rise. The left is still going ballistic over the very wise decision by our Commander-in-Chief to deport all the people that were allowed to come into this country by the traitor Biden. Now, there's two sides of a fence on the liberal Democrat argument. One of them is the side that you have heard. The side that pleads to humanity, saying that no human is illegal. But then there's industry's argument. We don't have to pay these people. They're undocumented. The Democrat Party has long been the party of slavery. They were founded on slavery. In fact, they started the Civil War because they did not want Abraham Lincoln as president, who was a very well-known abolitionist. I can't talk, sorry. So they disputed the election to the point of almost tearing this country apart. And I honestly believe that we would have probably been better off if we would have just agreed to send the Democrats to the South that were in the North, make it a crime for them to even be in the North, and just go along our separate ways. We're two totally separate mindsets. We're on the right side of history. They're on the side of Satan. Period. People can argue it all they want, but they will never win. Because we do have the side of righteousness. You can't argue that you're on the side of right when at the same time you're the one that is arguing in favor of murdering babies. You just can't. You can't argue that your argument is best if your particular position is that we don't need to pay these people because they are undocumented. That's where industry stands. And that's why industry supports the Democrat Party on the major topics. And always has. It is important that we actually educate our children about who these people are and do it correctly. Because if we don't, we will have a history repeating incident. And I'm thinking along the lines of the Jewish Holocaust. They always say that the conservatives are the Nazis, are the hate mongers. But the Republican Party was not the party that wrote checks to Adolf Hitler so he could build the death camps. That was FDR. We didn't enter into the conflict of World War II until Japan actually attacked us officially. But we were funding Germany. Adolf Hitler and Zelensky are one and the same in the grand scheme of things if you want to actually look at how the Democrat Party is treating Zelensky. Because they did the exact same thing with Adolf Hitler. Very large checks being given over indiscriminately. He was the hero of the West, according to Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The hero of the West. Now, people would say that I'm playing armchair politics and hindsight is 20/20. Well, first of all, I'm blind, so nothing is 20/20. But for you to actually consider anybody a hero just because they're a politician, and I'm talking about Donald Trump as well, you're an idiot. Donald Trump is not a hero because he's a politician. He's a hero because he's standing up against everything that is evil in this country. Namely, the Democrat Party. RFK is a hero, not because he's a politician, but because he turned his back on his party of origin. The party that murdered his father and his uncle. And he said no more. Tulsi Gabbard turned her back on him and became a real American once again. We should be admiring these people not because they are politicians that are able to spin a yarn. We should be admiring these people for the courage that it took to actually turn their back on what they once believed in, and the fact that they started to stand up and believe and fight for what was right, and actually believe in it. Elon Musk was once a very hardcore Democrat. And so was Joe Rogan. Where is the divide? Very simple. They started to realize that this is the party that is destroying lives. And because of that, they said no more. Because of that, we look to them and we say, thank you. Thank you for being the inspiration and giving the courage to those who wouldn't have it. There's a lot going on right now in the first month of Donald Trump's second presidency. It's a brand new administration. He was smart enough to get rid of the scumbags that should have never been allowed to work with him. And I am praying that he actually gets rid of a lot of the congressmen by putting in an executive order to install term limits and very strict consequences for accepting money of any kind, even election donations. No money at all. If you're an elected official, you should be living off of food stamps. You should be living off of the most basic scraps that this country gives you. If you are an American citizen, you have made an income in the past and you're not able to make it for some reason at the moment. There should be no authority established for Congress. They should not be allowed to give themselves a raise because they should not be allowed to get paid. It should be a volunteer position, and if it isn't a volunteer position, you need to have your hands cut off because you're a thief. That's just where I stand. And I'm being nice about it. I do not believe that we actually have any good politicians in Washington, D.C. Because there is none. There is no such thing as. So I do accept that there are a lot of consequences that come with accepting the position. But there should be more. It should be a dedication of sacrifice. Meaning, you're only getting at the most $500 for your food budget for the month. The state which you represent will probably give you a home that you don't own in Washington, D.C. that is on loan to you for as long as you have the office. If you're living in any kind of luxury at all, you need to be investigated for corruption. And that's just the beginning. That is just the beginning. We could go on and weed out the corruption just by putting in strict policies with very strict consequences for violating those policies. When you catch a thief, you literally cut off their hands in public and let them bleed to death. For some reason, the next thief will think twice. So, AOC, all of your crew, you should probably get ready to have a rope tied to your wrist, because that axe is coming down soon. And I hope to God that you do not live through it. I hope to God that you will not be sitting in Congress for any longer than what you already have. Because you have single-handedly destroyed America with your dumbass policies. And honestly, America doesn't want to hear your voice. It grades on us. It really does. We know that you got your position through blowjobs. We do not need to be proven that every single time you get up on the stand to testify to how stupid you are. So please leave. This is a new America. An America that does not want your woke agenda. I am Anatoly Anatolisva, and this is Patriots Must Rise. About this time, you're going to see a QR code in the corner. That leads to a gateway to support this channel. I appreciate any support that you can give. Like, subscribe, donate, please. I thank you for coming. I thank you for taking the time to listen. So I leave you with this. Please, live free, die well, and love your neighbor as Christ loved you.